Hi, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to yet another stream where we learn Laravel, not Laravel, but PHP. Eventually, we'll get to Laravel, but right now we're learning PHP together. This next chapter, this next episode rather, is all about page links. It sounds super interesting, and let's dive right into it.
All right, welcome back and congratulations. You've now reached section 2 of PHP for beginners. So yes, section 1 was all about the initial fundamentals. And granted, I get it. There's plenty of things we haven't yet reviewed, like classes and objects and object-oriented programming. But yeah, at least the initial fundamentals, I hope, should now be part of your skill set. So now section 2 is all about figuring out, at least initially, what it looks like to build a website or an application using PHP and MySQL. So let's get started.
Let's go. Okay, so right now we haven't looked at OOP at all, but I have a bit of trauma associated with OOP from my JavaScript days. I'm not a fan of OOP. Hopefully this course changes my opinion about OOP. Let's begin.
Now, to make things a little easier on the eye, and also so that we have something to work with, I think we should start with an existing HTML boilerplate or skeleton. So with that in mind, I'm going to grab a component from tailwindui.com. Whether you're familiar with this or not, you don't need to worry. There's no prerequisite here. All I'm doing is browsing their components to find a pretty stacked HTML skeleton. So notice if you're following along, yeah, I just want something like this, an initial bit of practical HTML that we can experiment with. And you'll see this happens to be one of their free components. So I will click on this here. And now if I switch back to my editor, let's go into my view. And within the body tag, I'm going to paste all of that in like that. Okay, so now we have some markup to work with. We have a bunch of CSS utility classes here. And again, if you're not familiar with any of this, trust me, don't be afraid. You don't need to worry about it. You're not going to be tested on it. It's just a quick way to have something pretty in the browser. Okay, so now the only remaining step before we check it out in the browser is to follow the instructions here and then import the Tailwind CSS. So notice we need to add these classes to our HTML tag. So I will do that now. Class and paste that in. And then on the body tag, we need a class of hfull. That stands for height full, or height is 100%.
Okay, let's follow along. Tailwind UI. Tailwind UI components. And he went to application UI, stack layouts. Yeah, this is the one. So I'm copying this. I am going to put this here inside the body tag. And over here, this probably won't work because I still have to import the Tailwind CSS. I'll do it through the CDN unless he has a better way to do it. I'm going to add the class to the HTML. And add this class to the body tag. Okay. So I probably need to install it via CDN as well. And I can do that by just going to Tailwind CDN. Yeah. This one. Cool. I just need to add a script tag at the end of the head. Let's see if that worked. It did, but it also didn't. Why is that? Do I need to add some JavaScript as well? Okay, let's just see how he does this.
Okay, that's it. And then let's import the CSS. And ironically, we do that via a script tag. cdn.tailwindcss.com. All right, so yeah, let's give it a shot. I come back to Firefox, we give it a refresh, and yeah, you see what I mean? Now,
Okay, so it worked for him, but not for me. Why is that? Oh, because mine is expanded. There you go. Cool. Also, I'm zoomed in, so I'll just do this. Yeah, that's better. So I smurf us. Yeah, it worked for me as well. Let's go. It worked for us. Let's go.
now we have something pretty attractive to work with. And more importantly, our template has a number of sections, so to speak. So we have a navigation area, we have a header area, we have a main content section. So this will very closely resemble the sorts of websites that you actually build on your own time. Okay, let's get back to work. All right, so let's see. And yeah, again, don't spend too much mental energy trying to figure out what's going on here unless you want to. The important bits are that we have a navigation section, and I will hide that with Command -.
Okay, 1 second. I know he asked us to not do exactly this, but I'm familiar with Tailwind CSS, and I'll explain just a high-level overview of what's happening. So Tailwind CSS is a package which essentially contains a bunch of predefined classes. So these classes have rules which are applied from the CDN link over here. The CSS file is somewhere in the cloud, you can imagine, and the classes rules are applied over here. So for example, if I had to center a div, I could just say item center, and if I hover over this, it should give me, why is it not giving me any? Control X, Control Shift X. Do I have the Tailwind extension installed? I think I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, either way, Control Shift X. I can do this. Control Shift X. Control Shift B. Control B. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is essentially like a bunch of rules that apply to this. So I'll give you an example. For example, if I wanted to change this from text gray in the dashboard to text, I believe amber is a color, indigo is a color, indigo. Let's go with indigo. So it'll give you like a purplish color here. See this dashboard? See this? Did I do it on Teams or dashboard? I did it on Teams, sorry. Teams is now indigo, but I'll change this back to gray, which is this whitish off-white color here. See that? If I change this to red, 900, which is the most red it could get. See this? This is very, very red. Hard to see, that's how red it is. So that's how this works. You can, by the way, the hover button is also gray, so I can change this to, let's say, green. I did that on projects, right? So on reports, right? Yeah, so see, this is green now, while everything else is gray. So essentially, that's how Tailwind works. That's an overview. And all of these are like essentially rules compiled together to create this whole UI. Hope that helps.
We have a header section, which corresponds to what you see here. And then at the very bottom, we have a main content section. So notice we have little notes, replace with your content. All right. Hello, welcome to the home page. Okay, come back to Firefox, give it a refresh. And yeah, this is what you'd expect. Okay, but now I want to, of course, have links. So if we go up to the navigation section, let's see. We have a dashboard, team, projects, calendar, and reports. So if we have a look, of course, that corresponds here.
Correct.
Okay, Why don't we change dashboard to home? And that will take us to, well, / the home page. So if I come back and refresh, sure enough, that has been updated. Let's do the same thing for a couple others. So we'll say, how about we have one for home, one for about us, and that will link to how about / about, and then we'll come back to that in a moment. And then I'll have another one that ideally would link to / contact. All right, let's have a look. Come back to Firefox and give it a refresh, and there we go. Okay, so the next step is let's create an about page. So how do we do that? Well,
okay, let's follow along. There is a bunch of stuff over here. Your content goes here. Okay, cool. I just add a paragraph tag. Hello, welcome to our website. Did that work? Yeah, it did. Cool. So we need excuse me, we need home, about, and contact. Okay, home, about, contact. Okay, I'm gonna remove the extra two calendar and report links. Home should go to /, so I'll explain why /. If I go to google.com or any website for that matter, it's this, okay? But if I go to google.com / and nothing else, it's still that. So if I go to any website, so let's say wordpress.org, yeah, and if I go to wordpress.org / it's the same thing. So / just means go back to the home page, go back to the root. That's why there's a / here. / followed by nothing. But if I say / about, that means go to the about page. Similarly, / contact will take me to .org / about. I don't know if it works or if it'll give us a 404. Yeah, it works. See, this is the about page. If I change this to contact, there's no contact page, so it just takes us back to the front page. Cool. So hope this helps. This is why we're adding the routes or page URLs as we are. No, I don't want this one. I wanted this one. Go down. Okay. Cool. Let's go.
Let's see. We have index.php, and I've removed all the variables from the previous episodes, but in real life, you probably have some data gathering to do. At the moment, it just requires a view. So why don't we do the same thing for about? About.php will load a view called about.view.php. And to do that, at least initially, I'm going to duplicate index.view.php, and we'll call it about.view.php. All right, and yeah, as I'm doing this, hopefully alarm bells are going off in your head. Because think about it, what about when we have 20 different pages?
So much
and
repetition.
by duplicating this massive HTML 20 different times? Well, if I did, I'd end up with a sort of n+1 problem where, let's say you need to change or tweak the navigation bar or import a script. Well, think about it. You'd have to do it for however many pages are in your site, which clearly is not something we want. But yeah, baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
So I'm going to go
I'll
down to
explain this a little. He said n+1 problem. What that means is essentially if I decide to change, let's say, if my boss comes in or whoever I'm doing this for comes in, says, hey, you know what, about isn't clear. What is this about page? So just to say about us. Then I'll have to do that on the home page and then go to every single individual page and do it all over again, which is gonna suck a lot. That won't work at all, which is why What is happening? Why did this not refresh? This should change to about us. But it's not. Why isn't it? Index.view.php, index requires this. I'm going to remove all of the data from the previous episodes. Okay. Team. Am I doing it in the wrong section? Let's find out. I think I'm doing it in the mobile section. Yeah, see, hidden mobile menu. Cool. This is a little bit confusing. I'll explain this. What's happening is it won't show here, but if I inspect the element and change this to mobile view, see, this shows up over here. So Tailwind now has a different mobile menu and a different desktop menu. So I think I'll have to change this in both places. Yep, that's true. So I'll change this to home. And I'm glad we ran into that error about, not error, but it's but that gotcha. And contact. And I'm going to change this. So that was for the mobile view, the one that we updated. At this, since we're on a computer, on a laptop or a desktop, we need to update that here too. So I'll change this to / what did I click? I don't know. By the way, I'm hiding the sidebar by pressing Ctrl B together. Ctrl B. This should work. And indeed it does. Thank you for solving this with me. Now, over here, what does he do? He makes about.php and then, yeah, so I don't want to keep doing that over and over again for multiple files. Let's see if there's a better way.
The bottom here, yeah. We'll say now you are on the About page. Okay, so let's have a look here. Okay, so yeah, we're on the home page. Let's try clicking on About, and the address bar updates. But notice it still says welcome to the home page, which is weird. That doesn't seem right. So whenever you're in doubt, of course, just click that refresh button a bunch of times and cross your fingers, but no dice, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, well, if we have a look, it is about.php. So yeah, let's give that a shot. Come back, about.php. Aha, it works. Okay, so now we're starting to learn something about how PHP's built-in server works.
Wow.
And it looks like if we request something that it can't match or identify, it'll defer to the default. And remember, index.php, that file name is always the default. Okay. But yeah, it would be nice if I could just do /about. I don't always want to.
By the way, which is exactly what we saw a couple of minutes ago when we went to wordpress.com/contact, wordpress.org/contact. Because that was not a predefined route, that wasn't a predefined URL. That's why it took us back to the home page.
To add the extension here. Well, I'll show you how to get around that, but for now, it's a little bit, just a little bit above our pay grade. But I promise I'll show you how to do that in a handful of episodes. So for now, let's stick with the full file name.
Okay.
So with that in mind, I'm going to go back to index.php. I'm sorry, our view. And here's our navigation bar. And yeah, it sounds like I need to update this to /about.php. And whenever we do create a contact file, that would be contact.php. Okay. And now notice I have to do the exact same thing for the About page.
Oh, wow.
So update that. Yeah, so clearly, imagine making a change like this across 20 different views. It would be a nightmare, right? And we can't allow it. So I'm only duplicating myself once before we solve this problem. Okay, so come back to Firefox, give it a refresh. And now if I click on About, it takes me to /about.php, and we do see the corresponding page. If I want to go back, that works as well. So let's finish up by doing one more for contact. So I'll duplicate this again, contact.php. We'll do the same thing for contact.view. We will begrudgingly duplicate that HTML just for a few moments. And then down here at the bottom, where are we? Contact us. And then did I update the view? No, got to do that here. All right, so yeah, let's cross our fingers. Here's the home page, and pay attention to the copy here, the about page, and the contact page. So now we can even update the headers. So let's do this in index.php. And yeah, notice to go through all of this HTML is just a slog. It's a nightmare.
It is.
I can't even find it. Where's the header? There we go. All right, so this is our home page. I'll do the same thing for about, search for header. All right. Maybe about us, and then to contact us. Okay. Give it a refresh, and now it's a little bit more clear. Home, about, contact. But also notice real quick that the little pill background remains on the home section. And that's because those styles have been hard-coded. So yeah, if we were to inspect this, let's have a look. Where's our navigation area? All right, so notice, what are we doing here? So yeah, first up we have ARIA current. That's for accessibility. It's a way to signal to screen readers what the current page is. And notice that the styling is a little bit different. So we have background gray, and then 900 is basically how gray is it? So you'll see, yep, there's a background, but none of these other ones have a background. So yeah, yet again, this would be a situation if you were building a static HTML site where you would just have to deal with all of this crap. You know, you'd have to manually update every file and say, okay, now here, is this the only difference? Yeah, I think so. So now this would be for about. And then this one would be text gray 300, and then hover is gray 700.
Wow.
I think that's right. Come back to about, and now we can see that move around. And in fact, I'm sorry, I spelled gray wrong. There we go. And then we do the same thing for contact.
Oh my God.
Kill me. This is just kind of a painful thing to do.
It is.
We'll update this. Now move it down to the contact styles, and then update this once again to text. Gray is 300, and then hover. When you hover over it, it becomes a darker gray. That's basically what's happening here. Refresh. Yes, notice Tailwinds gives me a way to quickly style things without updating a dedicated CSS file. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. But if you're not interested, you don't need to worry about any of this stuff.
Tailwind is
okay,
amazing.
So home, about, contact. Yeah, it works. But I promise you, there's a better way to organize and structure these things. So I will show you that in the next episode.
I swear. Okay, let's try this. I begrudgingly will follow along to what we just learned today and try not to complain too much about it. So I'm gonna bring my sidebar back, Control B. I have index.php, index.view.php. We have home, about, and contact to worry about. So I'm going to duplicate this. Where? Oh, there's no option to duplicate, so I'll just copy, paste, and paste. Cool. I'll change the first index copy to what was it? About.php. The second one was contact.php. Cool. Cool beans, cool beans. Okay. Over here I need to do this for index.view.php, and yeah, cool. So copy this, paste and paste. The first copy is gonna be what's it called? About.view.php. Let's go. The second one's gonna be called contact.view.php. Let's go, let's go. Okay, let me update this. Index seems fine. Contact needs to do this for contacts. Oh god, this is so cumbersome and error prone. This needs to be for about. Index is fine. Now if I go to about, I need to change this to first up this this whole business of I'm not even gonna read these classes. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna paste this on my clipboard. Okay, the whole thing, in fact, class and aria current. So I have Control C to copy this. Then I have Control C to copy the other thing. I'm on about, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna go here. Okay. I'm gonna replace this by pressing Control V. Oakley dokley. I'm gonna go here and change this to. Oh god, I forgot to do one thing. That's fine, I'll do it again. I'll change this to this. Aria current. I need to change this to about.php. And this to contact.php. I need to do this 4 more times in index. I need to change this to about.php. In fact, if I fix the mobile view, I'll have to do this like 8 more times .php, which I'm not doing that right now. Contact about.php and .php. Since we're in contact, I'm going to change this to the current tab by pressing this one. Yeah, and I'm gonna remove the current status from the home page. Okay, let's go. Whew, breaking a sweat here. Now the next thing is to update the dashboard and the main contact. So let me go to about. So main menu, notification, welcome to it. Yeah, this here should not be dashboard, it should be about us. And I'll change that to hello, welcome to our about us page. Oakley dokley. I am programmer. I'm doing programming. Should we contact us? And there should be hello, please contact us. Okay, let's see. Okay, so if I go to about, welcome to the about us page, contact us for more, home page, contact us. Okay, seems to look fine. Whew, that was some busy work. Thank you for following along. This was Laricast's PHP for Beginners course. The link to the entire almost 11-hour course is in the description below. Please go subscribe to them and watch this video and learn along with me. Thank you so much for watching. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Goodbye.